Hello everybody, this is Himdad Abdulqahar again with you with another video. Previously we have talked about research and the importance of research and the types of research. For this video we are going to talk about why it is important to publish your research. So the importance of publishing would be the topic of today's video. In this video we are going to talk about what is research and then the criteria for reputable good research, and then we explain the importance of publishing your research, and we present some tips for researchers, and at the end we will present some tips and advices for universities. First of all, we have to know what is research before we talk about publishing. Research is an application of scientific method to the investigation of relationships among natural phenomena, or to solve a problem, whether that problem is technical, medical, social, or any field of life. Then we have to know what do we mean by scientific research. By scientific research we mean a research that is conducted for the purpose of contributing towards science by the systematic collection, interpretation, and evaluation of the data in a planned manner. This is what we can call a scientific research. When we write a research and we intend to publish it, then we have three stages. Before preparation, we have to schedule our writing time. Then we have to start with an outline, a general outline, and then identifying the sources that we need, then analyzing written research, and then selecting a journal for publication. In the second stage, where it is called research preparation stage, in this stage we talk about research article structure and referencing, and then the title page and figures and tables and the language we use for that research, useful words and phrases. And then comes the role of publishing. During publishing phase or publishing stage, we have to revise and proofread the work that we have done. We have to prepare a cover letter to be sent to that journal, and we have to be ready to respond to reviewers, and we have to accept reasons of rejections if we have, and then final proofread and copy editing. These are the three stages of writing and publishing a research: before preparation, research preparation, and publishing stage. Then we need to shed some light on the criteria for reputable good research. There are a number of criteria that are taken into consideration when you want to judge whether a research article or a research paper is good, reputable, or not. We are going to shed some lights on these characteristics and these criteria. The first important thing, a good research must pose a significant and important question. Second, these questions need to be tested. Test the questions that are linked to the relevant theory. And then we have to apply the methods that best address the research questions of interest. And we have to base our research on reasoning supported and justified by a complete coverage of the relevant literature, previous studies that are done in this field of study. And then we have to provide, or a good research must provide, the necessary information to reproduce or replicate the study in case it is needed. The study design, the methods and procedures need to be independent, balanced, and objective. A good research, a good reputable research, must provide sufficient description of the sample and the intervention and any comparison groups if there are. And then it should use appropriate and reliable variables, evaluate alternative explanations for any findings that may come up from that research, and then a good research must be submitted to a peer review process. published in a high-level journal, and gain attention of other scholars. Increased citations are all signs of reputable good research. Now, if we want to talk about the importance of publishing, why it is important to publish your research after it has been done, there are a couple of reasons. First, publishing your research creates a public record for the researcher or researchers, and then it encourages scientists to speak directly to one another. People will all benefit from the cooperation among scientists and researchers, and a cooperating group will expand day after day and research after research. Others may build on your work, may repeat it, or correcting any mistakes you have made, or extend it to new cases, and even apply your methods and your results, your conclusions, in ways you might have never thought of. The cooperation by the publication is also a valuable part of discovering the truth. Because while you are teaching or in a teaching position, you get to do research also, and not just teach. And when you do research, you need to think of publishing it. Maybe sometimes publishing is to get a patent of an invention. You have to publish the details of how the invention works. Another part of importance of publishing is it is good for science. Usually peer review by other scientists may find flaws or shortcomings in the methods used or in the conclusions drawn from that research. It gives others an opportunity to repeat the test, to confirm the findings or dispute them or argue against them. Publishing a research is also good because it might inspire other types of experiments. It creates a sense of competition among scientists to be the first to publish a new scientific finding, for instance. And there are indirect rewards. For example, you feel that you have achieved something, or people will point to your achievements indirectly. And then it gives extra prestige to the research and researchers, and this might lead to job opportunities, funds or grants that might be announced later in your university or other universities. When you apply for that one, for instance, you send your CV, and then you think people will look at your publications, and then they base their judgments upon that. We know now that publishing is important, but it is important to ask yourself two questions: what to publish and where to publish. All research are not publishable, and this is for your credit. If you think that the results are not good, the results are not solid or based on solid ground, then it's better not to publish it. So what to publish is very important. And where to publish it? Don't publish your work in every journal. Try to make sure that the journal that you selected for publishing is at least peer reviewed, because this is when you publish in a peer reviewed journal, your work or your paper will be anonymously evaluated by 2 or more experts in that field, and this will be an added value, an added credit for your benefit. So it is important not only publishing, but what to publish and where to publish. Now, general tips and recommendations for researchers. The first important thing is don't make rush in publishing. It takes time, especially in prestigious journals and peer-reviewed journals. The second, you have to be ready to accept criticism and even rejection, because your work might not be suitable, might not be compatible with the scope of that research, or you might get rejected because your approach is not suitable. Then, if it would be good for researchers to conduct applied and practical research, because there is very good opportunity and vast chances in order to get published as soon as possible. Another important tip and recommendation for researchers, especially young researchers, is they need to participate in research teams. Nowadays, research lines and research groups and research teams are in the trend all over the world. So I suggest that you participate in one of these research teams. And finally, we can say researchers need to dream big, but they have to start small. And they should never get disappointed, because publishers are very tough, especially prestigious publishing companies and journals are very strict with their regulations and with the quality of the work. But you don't need to get disappointed, and never give up. This is an advice. Researchers should never give up, because you might get criticisms, you might get rejection, you might get disapproved, but it is never good to give up. Some tips and recommendations for universities. For universities, it is very good to think of integrating local and international expertise in their local journals, because in this way they take benefit from both experiences, local and international. The second is that they should pay more attention to applied and practical researches, because they solve problems and they address issues that are related to real life problems. And third, universities need to think of opening continuous training courses, especially about research methodology, for their teachers and for researchers. And one final recommendation and suggestion and an idea for anyone who wants to take it is that I suggest a conference to be prepared or organized for rejected papers. Or if any university takes that idea, I think it would be an original work, because nobody has thought of it. This means that rejected papers are not bad. There are many good ideas. Maybe the language is not good, maybe the approach is not good, maybe the presentation or the description is not good. That does not mean the idea is not good. So I suggest that a university will take that idea and organize a conference for all the rejected papers, and I'm sure there will be a very surprising result for that one. Thank you very much for your listening, and hope to see you soon, and wait for more videos on different parts of education, consultation and training from Megamind Plus Academy. Thank you very much.